Hi, welcome back to my channel, and in this video I am going to be reviewing The Unauthorized Guide to Choosing a Church by Carmen Renee Berry. This is a good book for getting an understanding of the different denominations and churches that exist. This is an older book, so it's a little out of date, but it still would be useful for people who just moved to a town or whatever and they're trying to figure out what church to go to, or for people who've never been to a church before at all, because it gives you a lot of information about different denominations. Here's how the front cover looks. Here's how the spine looks, and here's the back. I will include the ISBN in the video description, and I will try to find a link to where you can buy a copy of this. I ordered this one off of Amazon, and or wait, did I order this one? No, I bought this one at the library book sale. I'm sorry. But I'm sure you can find it on Amazon. There might even be a Kindle of it by now. Here's the copyright page, and there's the ISBN again, and it's printed in the United States, and it's published by Brazos Press, and this is copyright 2003, so yeah, this is quite out of date. The first section is how to choose the right church for you, and it's got 3 sections there. And then it goes through the liturgical churches, the Catholic churches, Lutheran churches, Episcopal churches, traditional churches in the Calvinistic tradition, Presbyterian churches, and it goes through a few of the denominations of that. More Presbyterian churches, Congregational and Restoration churches, Baptist churches, traditional churches in the Arminian Wesleyan tradition, like United Methodist Church as an example, contemporary churches, Freeform churches, Salvation Army, and then part 3 is a few items to help make more sense of it all. So it's like different ways of looking at denominations, churches in alphabetical order, denominational timelines, and then you got the creeds in here too. So if you've never read the creeds before, it's worth reading it, and there's even a glossary, a timeline, and an index. So it's laid out really well. Here, I'll show you an example of how it is. There's an acknowledgments section. Here's the title page for part 1. And then here's what you get. You get a little bit of info here of what is going to be in this section. And then what does church have to do with spirituality is the first section of part 1. And then you get a faith survey, which might help you to figure out where you would belong. These are now things that you can find online, although I think this would probably be more accurate. And then there's these sidebar things that go into more details on things. And some of them are more than 1 page, like this one happened to be 2 pages. And then there's like some of these quotes throughout the thing. Here's another article. And then they give you a further reading section. So like if you want to go more in detail into what was talked about in this part, you can read this and it'll tell you more. And then this goes through liturgy, lingo, and all that. And here's a list right here of what's going to be talked about in here. So I'm going to try and skip that and go to, here we go. Checking out a church. This is a section that gives you advice on your first time going to a church. And talks about how denominations happen. A poem. Some articles. Oh, here's some more, another further info. Where it gives you books to read that might help you. Denominational groupings. Like here we got the Orthodox churches. And here's a list of denominations right here. And then an article on Constantine, the ecumenical councils, a definition of a term, one of those little quote things. And they give you history of the different denominations and branches. The Orthodox view of saints, the major holidays, a description of sacraments, and then a summary. For each denomination, they'll give you a summary like this that contains important information. Kind of church, worship style, church service, Trinity affiliation, like which member of the Trinity do they tend to talk about the most. Where they come from. When was the USA version of it founded? How many members are there in the USA, number of congregations in the USA, and contact information. I don't know if the websites in this would be accurate to what they are today, because sometimes churches will change their website. But that's how pretty much the whole book is laid out. And then after each... Sorry, I shook the camera. I was trying to avoid that. You get a list of more churches and their contact information. And then here we go to the Catholic churches. And then that last section that the table of contents talked about, you have this kind of information where it lists them and their contact information. And it even gives you statistics on them. And then like charts of how each denomination or branch happened. And like, if you want to know about churches that do and don't ordain women, there's a chart here. And then here you get into the creeds. It gives you an explanation of them, and it gives you like a history of them, and then it gives you the text. Here's the text of the Apostles' Creed. Then it gives you information on the Nicene Creed. And here's the text of the Nicene Creed. And then after the creeds, you get this, this is a timeline in detail. And then after this, I think, is the glossary. Let's see, I don't know how far this goes. I think this goes to 20, yeah, it goes to almost the end of the 20th century. And then you got the glossary, and then an index. This book has been helpful for me in understanding different denominations. When I want to start looking up a particular denomination and start researching the history in more detail, I usually start here and work from that. All in all, I think it's a really good book, really worth getting and using it. I wouldn't recommend reading it cover to cover like you would a novel, but more of using it as a reference tool, which is the way I use it. So it's kind of like the closest book I could think of to what this is would be Religion for Dummies. Although this gives you more summarized information. This is more summarized than the Dummies book is. At least to me it seems that way. Alright, I'll see you in the next video.